Hello again, I am John Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team here on the PC with Nissan. It is Season 2, Round 4. We are in the middle of a triple header and we are heading to the desert for the Bahrain Grand Prix. And it is time for us to start thinking about prepping for next season already. We have regulation vote changes going through at the moment. We'll find out the results of them after this Grand Prix. And then the day after that, we will have some money from our sponsors. And then we have to spend that very quickly because we are almost at the end of this ATR period and we haven't used those hours yet. So we will be starting research for next season pretty much straight away on the 15th here, and then with any money we've got left over, we'll look at trying to at least get some spare parts back onto the car, and maybe start thinking about the next round of upgrades as well. So that is kind of the plan for today. We need a good result to bring in some extra cash and some relief as well from the pressure that we're under with performances that haven't been as good as they could have been. And it's a temporary, I think it's a temporary blip, our pace. I think as the season progresses, as we start to focus heavily on next season and getting a leg up on the new regulations and the change, the big changes in the rules for next season, I think we are desperately going to drop away as the season progresses. I think our good pace that we have right now is going to get caught, and our pace is mainly in downforce. We do not have straight line speed, so when we go to circuits like that, like Monza and Spa and not so much Bahrain, but Baku and Vegas, if we haven't fixed our really high drag situation, we are going to get absolutely annihilated. So while we're fixing our drag issues, we're going to be kind of standing still elsewhere on the car, and the advantage that we have is gone. And so yeah, I can see us slipping, maybe not straight away, but I think soon we're going to start to struggle, and we're not going to be hitting the highs that we can potentially hit right now. So we need to capitalize on our current performance and maximize the results that we can while we can. Let's take a quick look at the race targets for today. We're going to go 18th for both, and that's worth a good amount of cash, a little under 1.5 if we can get both drivers home in that position. So let's see how we do at Bahrain. Just a quick look at the chat. Let's see who we've got. We've got Farah, we've got Mike, we've got Wayne. Good to see you guys. It is a sad day as well. News of Ozzy Osbourne passing away broke earlier.
Welcome along to another exciting weekend of F1 action.
Red Bull have outscored their rivals to be at the top of the constructors' table right now.
And with that, I think it's time to get started.
And so, yeah, bit of a shame that we have lost a legend in music today. To be honest, I'm surprised he's lived as long as he has, given the life that he's led. But from what I understand, he died peacefully in his sleep, surrounded by loved ones. So, not a bad way to go. What is the crown next to the comments? It's just a fun little thing to show who is the top fan for that particular stream, or each particular stream. So You get experience points every time you comment. The cash grab suggestion for Farah. It's not necessarily a complete cash grab, but it does, you know, for the people that really care about being the number one top fan, you know, it does incentivize them to maybe drop a super chat, because you get more XP for those than you do just for dropping comments. So, you know, I'm not encouraging people to go out and start dropping super chats like crazy to try and get to the top of the leaderboards, because it is a one-time only thing. It's only for the stream, and then it completely resets as soon as the stream ends. There's no permanence to it, but I will never say no to anyone who wants to show a little bit of support to the channel. Yeah, no, don't feel pressured or incentivized to you know, to try and climb that leaderboard. I look at it as a fun thing. You know, I don't take it very seriously. I don't think anyone in the chat is really going to take it very seriously. But yeah, it is what it is. Right, let's get ourselves prepped and ready for today, shall we? So we're still on Mark 1 parts engine-wise for Mick. We are on Mark 1 parts still for Porsche, apart from the gearbox, because we have completely totaled a gearbox now, unfortunately. So, yeah, not amazing. We do have a little bit of part shortage. You can see we're running Mark 2 spec on every aero part on Mick's car, but not so much for Teo. He's got a front wing, rear wing, and a side pod that are Mark 2, but everything else is Mark 1 on the chassis, suspension, and underfloor. We will hopefully be able to replace those, or at least one or two of those, maybe by Jeddah, which is, you know, straight after this Grand Prix. If not, then certainly by the Grand Prix after that, which I think is Miami. I think. So we'll see. But it would be nice if we could get the car fixed up for Jeddah. We are going to go with, let's see, it's normally 17 laps, I think, around Bahrain, if you want to do 2 runs. So we are going to go with 27 laps, because you still have to learn both Mark 2 and Mark 1 parts. And we'll do the same for Teo. We'll go 27 laps of fuel for him. And then, as always, I have 2 setups that I always start with on these cars. So we'll start with a 5, an 11.5, a 6.4, a 3.15, and a 0.25. And we'll do that for one car. And then for the other car, we will go with a 4, an 11, a 7.3. In fact, actually, I got that the wrong way around. The 3.15 and the 0.25 needs to be on that one. And it's a 3.35 and a 0.65 on this one. Those are the 2 setups that I generally tend to always start with. And then we'll see if either of them gets close. So let's head to Bahrain. Practice session 1.
Radio check. Radio check.
Evening, Dino.
Yes, loud and clear. Positive on brakes.
Copy.
Right.
Just recommend giving a bit of margin to the curb.
Copy. Copy.
It's, well, we were talking about Black Sabbath. one of the very first bits of music I listened to when I got my new Odyssey headphones, because I wanted to hear that difference in the sound, was Bark at the Moon. And it sounded absolutely phenomenal with those headphones. And this is a night race, so we will be barking at the moon this evening in honour of Ozzy. Evening, Edward. Have I noticed that Leclerc never featured in any FP1 of this season? No, I hadn't. But it's he's not the only one to have... No, I'm sure he has. I'm sure Hamilton sat out, or at least I'm sure Hamilton has definitely sat out one session so far as well. I don't think it would always be Leclerc sitting out. I think there will be times when Hamilton sits out as well. And Leclerc runs. But yeah, at the moment, that's just the way it seems to be falling. Who else do we have running? Victor Martin and Luke Browning, both in for Williams, so both of their first team drivers sitting out this session. Tim Tramnitz is in for Lawson at RB. I think that's everybody, along with Kamara. Oh, Freddie Vesti's in for Antonelli.
Rear zone, cool side.
So tyre temps are still pretty cool.
Let's see how we do. Let's check in with our drivers. Nick is taking his time. There we go. He's just hit 3 out of 5. And Teo's just hit 4 out of 5. So they're quite a bit off in terms of how quickly they're feeding back to us. They're normally quite close, but since we switched to Hugh and reset Mick, or reset his relationship, he has definitely been slower giving the feedback. And there we go. It is... oh, you switched it off. I didn't even realise it was toggleable. Yeah, we're at 88% there for Teo. Yeah, I didn't realise you could actually switch off the crowns. I wonder why some people had them and some people didn't. I always thought it was just being gradually rolled out to users. Maybe they just had it turned off. Still waiting on that final bit of feedback from Mick. And it's 80%. Oh, we are off with both cars, and not by a little bit as well.
Yeah, copy.
And we have a yellow flag on track.
Just watch out.
We've had a crash on track. Please don't involve one of me. It's doing. And that is whoever's sitting in for Sainz. Browning. Browning is very damaged. Apparently. I don't see a chunk of front wing missing. Must be massive damage to the chassis or the site or the suspension then. See if he pulls in and retires from the session. Oh, he's still going. That's strange. He's got a penalty. I don't know if that will actually apply to Sainz. I think that will just be stored in the memory, ready for when Browning ever makes his F1 debut. But let's take a look at that car. See if we can figure out what that damage is. Yeah, it's not any part of his engine, so it has to be... I don't think it's his tyres either. No, tyres are fine. So it's something structural with the car. Could be the underfloor. I'm looking to see if we can actually see any visible signs of damage. So, yeah, we never really see any damage here on the car. We never see any actual physical damage to the chassis or the suspension. The only damage we ever see is to the front wing and the rear wing. But everything looks to be intact on that shot there. And he came in on this side. So my guess is it is the suspension or the chassis or combination of both. Yeah, I could take offense to this, guys. No one wants to be my number one fan. I'll try not to take it too personally. That sounds slightly sinister, Farah, but I know what you mean. And I thank you for it. And you, Wade. All right, our boys are heading to the garage.
Toolbox now.
Understood. Box.
Speed limiter on, please.
Stop pit position.
Pit lane.
Pit limiter on.
Hamilton follows us
Stop
in.
and go, switch off.
Doohan's in the pits. Whatever the damage was done to his car has caused him to box. Browning is still out there. And let's start making some changes, shall we? So, braking stability is needs to be down here then, which means that needs to come down this way. Right, it's 88%, so assume that's going to be around about 7-8%. That might be it. Try that. I'll be a bit off here, so let's do that. Let's push that up to there. Let's take that up. We'll give that a go. See how we get on with that. So Red Bull came out swinging in Suzuka. Secured themselves a 1-2. Let's see if they can repeat that performance. Maybe Ferrari can find something They were a little lacking in Suzuka. They didn't qualify amazingly well. Leclerc didn't do too bad a job, but he had that penalty which dropped him down the order and then inexplicably boxed really early for another set of inters. And that pretty much ruined his race. I mean, he still got back up into the points, but I mean, he could have been a threat for... Well, he certainly would have been a threat for the podium. Could have been a threat for the race win. Had he not done that. Had Ferrari not messed his strategy up. And we need to see something more from McLaren. McLaren really aren't showing much this season. So let's see if they step it up here as well. Let's get prepped for the second session. Going to go with 25 laps of fuel in this session. We've already made the changes that we need to make. We're going to run mediums on both cars. There we go. Let's send out Mick.
Should be green now.
And we'll send out Tato. So all the guys who sat out FP1 are back in the car. Leclerc and both Williams drivers. Let's see if Seitz's car has got some additional damage on it thanks to that little crash. Seitz, there he is. Looks okay. He's in better shape than Albon. Much better shape than Albon. All right, we've got some feedback. Great feedback. Not optimal, unfortunately, but we're at 96%. So we've definitely taken a step in the right direction. Just not quite there. Let's see how Mick's feeling with those changes. '87. So there's still a fair bit of work to do with Mick. We have made an improvement. He was at, what, 80%? So we've taken a big step forward, but we're still a long way off where we need to be. Sainz suddenly pops up to third. We've seen some really good pace out of that Williams in the early stages of the season here. Don't know how sustainable that will be, but yeah, we are seeing some pace from both of them.
Now this one involves Stroll. Oh, we've seen a few go off the track.
Also seeing Stroll
well,
continue to make mistakes and perform poorly. Be interesting to see if he's out of contract at the end of the season. I can't remember if he's contracted at the end of this season or next. We are pretty close. I'm going to drop the front wing down to a 4.5. I'm going to push that up slightly. And then that should fix that. That should still be good. And that's now a slight change. And let's see how that works. Where are we going wrong with Mick? Wow. Okay, so that needs to be up here somewhere. I just don't know. I think I'm going the wrong way by doing that. So let's go back to something along these lines. Let's try that. Alright, changes are saved and ready for the next session. Look at my feedback from my drivers. What's their prep? 95 and 92. So I'm going to send them out just for the last 10 minutes. Get a head start on the feedback for the next session.
Tyres are on the cold side.
Alonso's put the laps in today. He's done 30 laps in this session so far, and he may yet pop out for a little bit longer. Probably not now, but that's a lot of laps. Russell with 28 laps of his own. Leclerc with 27. Hamilton doing just 18 laps. He's done the least this session. And we've got 2 out of 5 with Teo. Not sure what we got with Mick. And we have got a penalty for Sainz, so I'm wondering if that is carrying over from Browning with his collision. We'll see what it is when we get to qualifying. If it's 3 places, then because I don't remember him hitting anybody in the last race. Right, let's take a look. Get an idea if we've started going in the right direction. And we want the car set up, don't we? Still not there with the front wing, so the front wing is going to have to go up a little bit more. I don't know if that's going to be enough. Now I'm looking at this and I'm thinking maybe we just drop that down slightly instead. Let's try that. We're going to go mediums again. Going to go for 22 laps in this session. I think that should be enough. Let's take a look at Teo. It's just, this is the question, isn't it? The braking stability. Everything else I'm liking the look of, so we won't make any changes. We'll run him for 18 laps, I think. And let's send them out.
Initial balance feedback.
Just off. All right, we're going to have a little bit of a wait for Mick. It's going to be close to sort of 25 to 30 minutes into the session before we get his feedback. A lot of guys running softs. We haven't used a set of softs at all yet. We're still giving back 3 sets, 1 in each session, but we will have 1 set of mediums and 4 sets of softs as we go into qualifying. So we'll have 5 sets of softs, 1 set of mediums, 1 set of hards in total, minus whatever we've used in qualifying. And hopefully that'll only be 2 sets of softs. The plan is to stop. I'm not sure whether I'm going to start on the mediums and then go to the softs. Stroll does Stroll things once again. Spinning straight at the end of Sector 2.
Made a mistake.
I think we just got our feedback from Mick, didn't we? Still not perfect. He's only at 92. Well, let's call them in. And let's take a look. So this could go either way. So we do need to send him back out just to figure that one out. Actually, no, screw it. We'll be fine. We don't need to send him out. We'll just guess. If we get it right, we get it right. If we get it wrong, we get it wrong. 1% change is not going to make a major difference either way. But we are definitely short with Mick, so we do need to do a little bit more work here. Try and figure this one out.
Good entry.
Might be as simple as just changing the roll bar.
Pit limited on.
Stop pit position.
And that's exactly what it is. It's the roll bar. So let's make that a 5-5 like that. And then we can push that up to there. Push that back to there. I think we might have had our front wing there. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go back to a 4. No, I can't, because then I'm not going to be able to get this right. So it is going to have to be that, I think. If I go up to a 5, it's going to break the rear wing. So I think that has to be it. And even though I don't need to send Porsche out, I am actually going to send him out because we can complete, or at least I say complete, we can get that a little bit closer to learning the 3 Mark 1 parts in case we ever need to put those back on the car again at some point. Hopefully we won't have to, but you know, we saw what happened to us last year and what's already happened to us this year with parts. So it makes sense to try and learn some of those Mark 1 parts in case we have to put them on the car again at some point. We have now fully learnt all of the Mark II parts as well, which is good. All right, feedback should be about to drop. We're almost out of time in the session as well. We got it the wrong way on Porsche, but we can fix that, so it'll be at 100 in qualifying. That's fine. We got the car part knowledge up to 95%. We'll keep going until the flag. And what have we got with Mick? I'm doing this purely just out of curiosity because it's the enigma, the puzzle, trying to solve the puzzle of qualifying. And there we go. We did solve it. We got it spot on. That makes for a really attractive thumbnail shot. Oh, no, I pressed the wrong button. Damn it. All right, let's see if I can get that one back. Oh, well, it's not going to be my car, so it doesn't matter. Shit. Oh, god damn. That was going to be a glorious thumbnail shot.
Our weekend continues with qualifying, as the drivers fight it out for a strong grid position.
Bahrain's track is dusty and abrasive, and even under the floodlights, qualifying is tough on soft tyres. Teams will need to use their tyre allocations wisely.
If we could just talk about Mick Schumacher for a second. Given his recent form, how's he going to be going into this session?
Now this is a driver with confidence, and that's clear from their performance today. But will that confidence pay off? We'll have to wait and see.
What does today have in store? Only time will tell.
Okay, so let's fix this, shall we? There we go. Nice and simple. That will now be 100%. We need to switch out the engine now in Teo's car. We're at 66 on Mick. I'm going to keep that engine in. It's a little early for me to swap it out for a race. Yeah, we are prepped and ready. Let's hit the track.
Should be green now. Keep working brakes and tires, don't let them cool down.
Submit.
So hopefully we can get through using the least amount of runs to protect our tyres through qualifying. I'd like to get through with just 2 runs if possible. This first run hopefully being a clean run, and then another run a little bit later in the session. But it all depends on what our pace is going to be. It's always a double-edged sword going out first.
It's clear.
Because the track is at its
Let's go.
worst. It's got the least amount of rubber on it, and the grip isn't as good as it will be later. So there is an element of hamstringing
Tires
by going out at the very beginning of the session. But if you are the first to
Let's go. Come on.
cross
Nice
the line, then it's guaranteed that your sectors will be purple. And if you've got cars with different pace, like we do, then in theory, the second car will go quicker, and then they will be setting purple sectors. And it means that our confidence level should be close to peak after one run, which sets us up really nicely for the second run. So there's an element of, it's not the greatest idea, but it's also not the worst idea. And Porsche is actually slightly quicker in that first sector. Hopefully, Sainz will get out of the way. Is that Sainz? No, it is Sainz. Doesn't quite get out of the way as smoothly as I would have liked. We are matching Antonelli's pace in the first sector. And Mick is down 310. Oh, wait, of course. Porsche's got a brand new engine, hasn't he? So he's at full power, whereas Mick's engine has taken some wear in its 60-something percent, 66%. So not putting out quite as much power, and that's translated to 4/10. I don't think it's purely down to the engine. I think we got slightly held up in that middle sector by Sainz. Maybe that cost us a tenth or two. As we show Sainz how it's done. Get out of the way nice and quickly. Here comes Antonelli. Ocon splits our two drivers. Lawson is slower, and Antonelli goes top by 2.5 tenths. Sainz has gone purple in the first sector. Expect Sainz to be very quick here today, based on what we saw in practice. Leclerc is out there on track as well. Hamilton now leaving the garage. Tsunoda's about to start his flying lap. Sainz purple in the middle sector. We get out of the way with our other driver because we're good like that.
Pit lane.
And across the line, and he is nearly 2 tenths quicker than Kimi Antonelli's Mercedes. But Leclerc is quicker still in the middle sector.
Oops.
Okay. Pit limiter on. Stop in position.
Up to the line comes Charles Leclerc. And he goes top by 2.3 tenths. And Mick is now over a second behind. Let's prep them for another run. Got to be careful when we send them out now to avoid traffic. This looks like a pretty good time to go. Hamilton is about to start his flying lap. Let's see what Tsunoda can do across the line. He's slower than Porsche.
Just focus on your tyres.
Copy, copy.
That is a surprise. Verstappen's now leaving the garage or somewhere out on track on his outlap. We'll keep an eye on him. He is the new championship leader. Oh, and Hamilton getting blocked despite going purple in the first sector. He does get blocked at the start of the second. Probably only cost him about a tenth, maybe two. It's not horrific like we see at some other tracks. Oh, I think that's Max in front. Or is that Tsunoda on his in-lap? That's Tsunoda on his in-lap, I think.
Push lap now.
Got a good gap in front.
Yeah, Max has crossed the line. So Max is on his flying lap now. 39.6 in the middle sector for Hamilton. It's like Albon's gone almost as quick as his teammate Sainz has. Hamilton pops up into second. No improvement for Mick in the first sector. Or Porsche. We're going to run into traffic again by the look of it. It's Albon on his in-lap. Gets out of the way quickly for us. I think that might be Verstappen we just saw disappearing off into the distance. 39.5. 39.7 for Mick. That's a good middle sector. It's quicker than Piastri's middle sector. So we could be off for an improvement here with Mick. It all depends on this final sector. Porsche has not had a good middle sector. Max has gone top just by 0.07 of a second. And Mick climbs up to 7th ahead of Porsche.
P7.
Both of our drivers currently ahead of Tsunoda and Piastri.
We're currently P8. Okay, nice lap.
Behrman crosses the line and he's up to 12th. Here comes Bortoletto. He goes 15th. Stroll into the middle sector. And Norris now starting his flying lap. Let's ride on board with the world champion. .26.9, it's an okay first sector, but it's not setting the world light, and he's getting blocked here. That will have cost him at least a tenth, maybe two. Stroll up to P12. Seitz is out there again on his second run.
Pit position.
Pit lane.
Pit limiter on. So stop in your box and switch off.
Gasly sets the time. P15 for Gasly. Hajar goes up to 11th. Here comes Norris. It's good enough for P8. He splits our two drivers. What's the margin? Very small. Very small. He's pretty much slap bang in between our times, look. What did George do? George went P7 and we have a yellow flag on track. Someone locked up, maybe? Yeah, Lawson's locked up.
Now this is where the RB driver's involved.
Right at the end of the
Things
first
are all right
sector.
here. Struggling with the car. And they'll need to be mindful of the effect that that had on the tyres.
And if he was on a lap, that's ruined it. Is he still going? No, he's backed out of it. He has aborted his lap. Leclerc's on another lap and he's just set a purple first sector. He's getting held up by Alonso here at the end of the first sector. Into the beginning of the middle. That's not ideal. I think we might be safe. I'm going to risk not running again. Because I don't want to waste... I say waste. I don't want to use another set of new tyres and we will not get an improvement if we go out on the same tyres again. But I think we've done enough. As Russell gets out of the way. There goes Norris back into the pits. Yeah, not a great middle sector look. Good final sector though. And that puts Leclerc top by exactly 1/10. Oscar leaving the pits. Seitz returning to the pits. We've got Behrman and Bortoletto out there as well. Lawson will have time for another run. He's back in the pit lane now. Yeah, we're going to stay here. And there goes Lawson, speak of the devil. Bortoletto with a mistake.
Now this was the Sauber.
That's his warm-up lap.
And that's where they slightly run off the track.
Just
And
drifts a
they'll
little
find
wide
themselves at
there.
a
That won't do the
disadvantage
underfloor any good.
if they keep on doing that.
Or his confidence for that matter, but it hasn't damaged the underfloor, so he's okay in that respect. Who is that popping out behind? Is that Antonelli? It is. Kimi Antonelli leaving the pit lane as well. Yeah, we are going to stay in the pits, I think. I don't think we have anything to really fear from Aston. They just haven't looked competitive yet this season. Sauber, I think we've got the legs on Sauber. Or at the very least, we've got the legs on Bortoletto. Hajar, I don't know if he can go any better than that. The RB is not cooking on, on the same sort of pace that it had last season. They were running Red Bull very close at the end. They haven't quite found that level of pace again this year. Out goes Fernando. Yuki's out there as well. So there's a lot of cars behind us now that are on track or going back out. There goes Ocon. They see Leclerc pulling back in. And here goes Hajar. And we're going to ride with Isaac Hajar. And I'm not quite sure what the equations are on the back of his helmet. Given he has a space theme, I'm guessing they are something to do with space travel or speed of light or theory of relativity, or I don't know. I have no idea what they are. So Bortoletto has improved up to P14. Behrman's improved to P16. Hulkenberg is building up. There he is. There's Hulkenberg. We've got a Williams steaming through. That's Sainz, I think. Starting his flying lap. There's a chance for Hajar to get a really nice slipstream here off the back of Alex Albon. I'm going to keep an eye on Yuki Tsunoda. He has not improved in the first sector. Lawson crosses the line to improve his final sector. But he is out, I think. Yeah, Lawson is out. Gasly and Doohan both finding some time in the first sector. 26.7 for Hajar. That's a really good first sector. And he's closing in on the back of Sainz. So I think he is going to get a mighty slipstream here. As Piastri gets out of the way. Piastri's not improving then. He's on his way back to the pits. Tsunoda does a 39.8. Gasly improves up to P18. It's an improvement, but it's not enough. What can Doohan do? About the same kind of pace. He goes a couple of tenths quicker, and he actually gets through. He knocks out Ollie Behrman. But I'm pretty sure he's about to get blitzed by Hajar here. Tsunoda pops up to 9th. This is going to be a mighty final sector here for Isaac. He goes P5. He got a wonderful tow from Sainz all the way around there. That worked out very nicely for him. And that is it. Nobody else could improve enough. Hajar knocks out Doohan. Sorry, Hulkenberg knocks out Doohan. No, it is Hajar going P5 that knocked out Doohan. Lawson is already heading back to the pits, so these are the drivers eliminated. Doohan in 17th, Behrman 18th, Gasly 19th, 20th for Ocon, 21st for Lance Stroll, and 22nd for Liam Lawson, who is not adjusting well to life at RB at the moment. Okay, into Q2. We're going to run the scrub tyres for our first run, just to build that confidence level up. We'll send Mick out first this time. And then we'll see.
You need to work the tires a bit more, okay?
Where we sit after we do a run with new tyres. Because these tyres are purely just to set a baseline, get that confidence level increased, ready for when we've got the better grip. We might have a chance of getting at least one car through into the top 10 shootout here.
This is a good position for us. Come on.
A couple of other cars out on track. We've got Hamilton, Russell and Albon. So the Brits hitting the track nice and early. Almost all of them. Norris still sulking in the garage. Right, so we are going to have
Go.
Bortoletto in the way at some point on the lap for Mick. I don't know
So
whether
straight
he'll be
out.
an issue for Porsche. He might be.
You're good to go.
I think Porsche is going to be fine against Antonelli here. I think we'll get through turn 1 without any major hold-up. Tight. There is Kimi. We do get through into turn 1 without an issue. Let's turn our attention to Mick. (27.2) against the 27.4. Mick finding a bit of pace this time out in comparison to his teammate. Russell and Albon clear turn 1 before the RB gets there. Hamilton does a 26.8, 26.9 for George, 27.0 for Russell. And Bortoletto is on his flying lap now, so he's not going to hold us up. He's not going to interfere with our lap. Not quite close enough to give us a slipstream either. Porsche has gone 0.2 quicker in the middle sector. It's going to come down to the final sector between these two. Oh, it's so close. Look at that. What's the margin? It's going to be tight. 57 thousandths of a second.
Copy.
Hamilton's going to get a really nice slipstream here off the back of Sonoda. And he does a 1:28.3. He's 2 seconds quicker than us. I mean, we're on scrub tyres, and he's in a Ferrari, but that little slipstream certainly won't have hindered him, shall we say. He's 0.2 quicker than George, 0.4 quicker than Albon in the final sector alone, thanks to that little toe. And that looks like Antonelli in the background. There's Sonoda. He goes purple in the first. That wasn't Antonelli in the background. That's George. Antonelli is coming up on the back of Porsche right now through turn 11. Bortoletto pops up to third. What a lap from Gabby there.
Good entry.
Pit limiter on. Stop in position.
Around the final corners,
Pit
Okay,
turns
pit
14 and
limiter off.
15.
Stuff in the box, switch off.
They are separate corners, even though they kind of look like they're one on track. You can see they are clearly two separate corners. And Sonoda goes second, but he's 0.3 behind the Ferrari. Now, how much of that is down to that slipstream, I wonder? Maybe a tenth. maybe 0.2 at most. But that is a definite pace advantage for Hamilton. We could go out on these tyres again. We wouldn't get an improvement, though, I don't think. So we are going to switch to new tyres. There's also the risk that if we do another scrubbed run, we'll only have time for one good run. And if we get blocked, we get eliminated. So let's not do that. So Verstappen currently on an outlap. There he is, going through turn 13. Norris is on an outlap at turn 10. Piastri's on a flying lap. He's through turn 11 right now. Jar pops up into 7th place. Leclerc is looking pretty good. And it's 2nd. And again, nearly 0.3. But Hamilton did a 22.2 in the final sector. That's a 22.3. So I think Leclerc just lost a bit of time in the middle somewhere. Okay, Piastri up to 6th place with his lap. Max does a 26.8 in the opening sector. Sainz isn't too far behind him. Sainz crosses the line in the middle sector there to do a 40.1. Should be a nice unimpeded run to the flag here. Hajar will peel off into the pits. There he goes. And we are going to go now, while the track is hopefully going to be relatively quiet. 8th place for Carlos Sainz. He's actually down a little bit on what I was expecting to see. But maybe that's used tyres. Well, they're not new, but they're not in really bad shape. Norris looking pretty quick at the moment. Coming up to the back of his teammate, actually. Piastri should peel out of the way pretty easily, and does.
Copy.
Max goes P4, slower than Tsunoda. As Leclerc gets back to his garage. Norris crosses the line, he goes P3. We are seeing some good pace at Lando at last. Hulkenberg up to P11. Here comes Alonso. He goes P12. And we are currently at the bottom of the table. But we've done just a scrubbed run. So this will be our first proper run. And I don't think we'll have enough time to do another one. I was hoping we'd have a clear track, and both Mercedes are peeling out nose to tail in front of us. God damn it.
Go.
So Mick's going to have to get past both of those guys somewhere around here. That's not going to be a great place to pass. Let's ride on board with Mick. Evening, Clark. Oh, we are so going to get blocked through here.
Yep, copy, mate, we saw.
Disaster. I'm going to abort Mick's lap. That lift was enough to do some serious damage to his potential lap time. In the middle for Porsche. They go both Mercedes out of the way. Down about 3/10 on Albon. Albon crosses the line, goes P7. It's P11 for Teo.
P11.
And he will not have time for another run. But we will have time to refuel and send Mick out. Let's see if we can improve him. Same tyres. Out goes Yuki Tsunoda. And out goes us. So Porsche is out. Can we get Mick through? Mick has the faster car on paper. So theoretically, should be able to. Leclerc goes mighty quick in the first sector. 26.6. Has a little bit of traffic to contend with through 8 and 9. There he is. We might potentially get in his way here through turn 13.
Pit limiter on. Into the pit lane and leave it in P1.
There we get out of the way for him. And Tsunoda has gone. He's gone on this flying lap. Now that might potentially help or hinder Leclerc. He's on for an absolutely monster lap here.
This is a good position for us. Go on.
He has gone top by nearly 1.5 tenths. Now is Leclerc going to block us? Are we going to be that unlucky? No, he gets out of the way. That's right. Come on, Mick. We need something good here. .26.8. That's pretty decent. Hamilton now with a 26.6. He goes purple in the first sector. And Max is not far off as well. He's done a 26.6. 26.7 for Sainz. He's looking like he's going to be able to get through. 39.8 for Mick in the middle. It's down a couple of tenths on Yuki. Yuki does a 22.3 in the final sector. What does Mick do? 22.4. That should be enough. It's just enough. But Carlos Sainz has every chance of knocking us out here. Can we cling on to 10th place and get through? It's so close between him and Mick. It's going to come down to the final sector. He's maybe a 10th up. Depends how it's been rounded. It could only be a couple of hundredths. It could only be a few thousandths. Max goes to P2. So he has got pace here today. We get bumped as Sainz jumps all the way up to 6th. We get knocked out by 0.05 of a second. Just 0.06 would have been enough, actually, to get us through ahead of George Russell. So it's pretty tight. It's pretty tight. Alonso jumps up to 12th. Where did that pace come from? I mean, he's still a couple of tenths away from us, but yeah, he has wrung the neck of that Aston Martin. It's not enough to get him through, though. Eliminated at the end of Q2 is Mick Schumacher, Fernando Alonso, Isaac Hadjar, Gabriel Bortoletto, Teo Pourchaire, and Nico Hülkenberg. And it's Hamilton who puts it on pole from Max Verstappen. Lando in 3rd, 4th for George Russell, 5th for Charles Leclerc, Antonelli in 6th. Sainz is 7th, but does have a potential 3-place penalty there, so that will drop him down to 10th. Then it'll be Yuki, Albon, and Piastri. So Williams will start with both cars in the top 10, just. Let's see if that translates into both cars finishing in the top 10. We are ready to get prepped for the Grand Prix.
Here in Sakhir, the floodlights are on, and it's nearly time for 57 laps around the Bahrain International Circuit.
Bahrain has seen some of the most dramatic races in F1, like Sergio Perez's incredible 2020 victory, surging ahead from being last on the opening lap.
The Bahrain International Circuit is a challenging track, and the cars routinely have to brake from high gear to low to take the narrow turns. With the need for downhill braking, the risk of locking up is one drivers will need to manage. It's all about focus and balance to get victory here. Race day has arrived, and the time has almost come for these drivers to fight it out, wheel to wheel.
Let's take a look at the amended grid. So they see it is a 3-place penalty for Sainz, and I wonder if that is because of Browning. Like I say, I don't remember Sainz being involved in getting a penalty in the last Grand Prix, so let's see what happens. This is the preferred strategy. We're going to go monster hard on the mediums at the start. And then we're going to go pretty aggressive on the mediums as well, I think. Try and get that undercut. Let me see what would happen if we were to space these out a little bit better. I think that might be the way to go, actually. Get off these tyres even earlier and onto the softs. Let's look at that. Yeah, that is quicker than what we had planned in here. So that's our strategy for Mick. We'll do the same for Teo. We'll rinse the tyres in the opening set. Get off them nice and early. And have some rubber to play about with for push laps on the softs as well. There we go. In terms of fuel, I am going to not put any extra fuel in. I'm not going to take any out. But we are going to push the fuel at the start. I'm going to push off the line and then probably turn the battery off pretty quickly to save it for later. Let's just see if we can maybe jump somebody on the opening few corners. Right. The strategies are planned and set. We are ready. The Bahrain Grand Prix is next.
Well then, it's not long until we get started here, and we should be in for a tightly contested race. This could be a big race for that man, right there, Lewis Hamilton.
They're on pole and it's well deserved. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do.
Here we go. It's time to go racing. And this is it. The Bahrain Grand Prix. It's lights out and away
Looks
we
like
go.
a pretty good start from Ferrari. Not a good start for Norris. He's coming under immediate pressure from behind. But there's nowhere for anyone to go. Side by side against Bortoleto with Porsche. Mick in 9th place. Sainz down to 11th. Not a good start for Sainz. And then we get squeezed on the exit there by Oscar Piastri. Right, now we're going to turn the batteries off.
Head down.
See Oscar diving up the inside and then just runs us out. Gives us a little squeeze. And we have to back out of it.
Nice.
Porsche is in peak confidence though. So is Mick after their, good starts. I'm going to go into high overtake, which is potentially asking for trouble. But I want to see if we can maybe squeeze another place. I'm going to have to push Mick. That means I might potentially have to push Teo at the same time as well. We'll see if the gap starts to open up in front of him. Someone locking up behind us. That is Hulkenberg.
Currently P10.
See him trying to rejoin.
Up 1.1.
Here we are then, reaching turn 13. Well, you can see the lockup. They took a gamble.
Big
and it
lockup
was
for
just too
Hulkenberg.
late.
That will do some damage to those tyres. Coming under pressure from Bortoleto on those softs, trying to find his way through. There's only one other car on mediums at the moment. That's Oscar Piastri. Everyone else on softs. As Porsche holds off Bortoleto there. And the gap is now starting to open up, so let's push his battery as well, so he doesn't get dropped by Alonso. Yeah, Albon never really seems to perform. I think Albon was potentially slightly overrated in previous versions of the game, certainly in 22. but he just feels perhaps a little underrated in this. I don't know. I mean, he's still pretty consistent. It's just he never really gets into a good car. So it's hard to see what he could actually do. But the Williams is actually looking pretty good this season. So we might see some fun stuff from Alex Albon this year. Once again, we're just about holding off Bortoletto. Sainz has got through on Mick. Gonna ease down on the battery now. Save what's left.
Come on, eyes forward, come on.
And there you can see the effect of that lockup on Hulkenberg's tyres. It's definitely taken a big chunk out of them. We're definitely going to be a bit of a roadblock to start with. Being on the mediums. But once we get back into the train, we should be good. These tyres are absolute screaming, so I'm going to turn them down a little bit.
Cool down. Cool down.
Sainz's tyres wearing out pretty quick. So are Albon. So maybe they're over pushing, or maybe the Williams is just a bit harsh on its tyres this year. Porsche is almost back in range of Alonso there. Not sure if we managed to sneak the DRS. We didn't. We're out of battery.
Okay, recharge on.
And we are just hanging on to the back of Alonso at the moment. Hamilton still leads from Verstappen. Russell's got ahead of Norris. Leclerc still down in fifth, and his tyres aren't looking too great either. And we are finally back into DRS range of Alonso, so we can start thinking about turning those tyres down. We're losing the back of Sainz. Can't really do too much about that. I need to turn these tyres down for a bit.
Cool the tyres.
Just to stop them going over 130 degrees and then literally melting. I think we might be under some serious pressure here with Mick. Yeah, Hadjar's going to get through. There he goes. Alonso's lining us up as well.
Focus ahead, come on.
We'll turn the fuel down now as well to protect the engine temps. And to stop burning up quite so much fuel as well. It's about 1.8 kilos a lap around this circuit. So we've burnt through almost a lap's worth of fuel. Or an extra lap's worth of fuel. See in the distance ahead of us, Antonelli under pressure from Albon, and that's Leclerc off.
Leclerc has spun.
There he is, slowly rejoining. We go past him. Big spin for Charles Leclerc.
No.
And that has done some serious damage to those tyres. That might well mess up his strategy plans for this afternoon. Or this evening. And he's under pressure from Alonso. We are under pressure from Bortoleto. But we have a slipstream on Alonso. We step out, and that forces Bortoleto to step out. He might still lunge at us up the inside. This is tighter than I'd like.
Copy, copy.
Just got to be patient here.
Alonso trying to get past Leclerc and does so just about. We get back in front of Bortoleto. And Alonso had to back out in the end. I want to harvest some battery while we're in this train, but I daren't take the risk because Bortoleto is all over us at the moment, trying to find a way through. Mick is just about hanging on to the back of Hajar, turned his harvest off now. Probably had him in that too long, so I need to make sure we don't get dropped here. Trying to get back in range. Not here, we can't. Porsche now out of range as well. As Leclerc's pushing, Alonso's going with him, and it's leaving us behind. We're going to be vulnerable to Bortoleto again.
Tyres are looking good.
And now I can get the shot that I tried to get in practice.
Okay, copy, good.
Ah, mouse is in the way. Let's move the mouse cursor out of the way. There we go. Alright, let's take a look at our tyre predictions. Yeah, we're good to start pushing them again. Temperature has come down a bit.
We'll get our trans.
Bortoleto does squeeze on through. We've got Leclerc right behind Mick. Mick's pushing for all he's worth at the moment with his battery and still can't keep up with Hajar, who's caught back up to the train in front with Antonelli. Antonelli might be going for a one-stop because he doesn't look like he's pushing his mediums that hard. He might go medium to hard, which would be an interesting strategy choice. Have I noticed Carlos in this game seems to be a lock-up master? I think it... I don't think so. No, I mean, no more than any other driver, really. His control rating isn't superb. It's top of the line. But it's not horrible. And I think it depends on what car he's driving as well. And there goes Leclerc into the pits already. Just 7 laps done on those tyres. And now we have to fend off Fernando Alonso. Go away, go away, go away. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Leclerc is out on a set of mediums. Porsche gets back ahead of Bortoleto. Bortoleto has the DRS. He's looking, and we shut the door on him.
Alonso.
Porsche's having a really good race so far. So Leclerc's about 9 seconds off the back of Hulkenberg, who had a lockup of his own. Let's see how quickly he can close that gap down once he gets his tyres up to temp.
Good, it's okay.
plan was to box Porsche a lap later than Mick, but I might actually swap them round and go the other way round and see how things are looking as we get closer to the pit stops. Oh, Alonso has got through. We'll get some DRS, so let's harvest a little bit of battery. Can we retake the position up the inside? No, we can't. And we've got to be careful. We can't just stay in harvest while we're glued to the back of his gearbox, because he will try and push to pull away from us now, and we need to stay with him. But we don't really have any battery of our own to push with, so we'll grab a little bit of battery where we can. But other than that, we're going to have to be very careful. Make sure we don't get dropped. See that gap starting to eke itself out a little bit. Up to 7 tenths. 8 tenths. We're still in range, so we can go into harvest here.
Copy.
Back into top up. There we go. So we saved a little bit of battery deployment there. Not a huge amount, but it all adds up. A little bit here, a little bit there. Antonelli's actually doing pretty well. He is starting to push these tyres a bit harder than I thought he was, so I think he's doing something similar to us. I think he's going to go medium, soft, soft. Opened up a little bit of a gap to Albon, and it's Albon who's now acting as a slight hold-up for Sainz. Piastri closing in as well. And look at the state of Albon's tyres. Leclerc starting to find some pace. With a 1:33.5, 1.5 seconds quicker than the Hulkenberg on that last lap. Here comes Albon. Oh, sorry, here comes Carlos up the inside of Albon. And that will be a pretty... Well, I thought it would be a pretty straightforward overtake, but Sainz felt the need to nip back in and get a touch more slipstream again. And still he hasn't got through. And Piastri's right there, and this is going to slow these guys down dramatically now with this fighting. Mick has been dropped. But we're just pushing these tyres for all they're worth at the moment.
Gap 1.6.
And Sainz now starting to drop away from Albon. I think Albon might be pushing to box. So we might see Alex Albon into the pits at the end of this lap. We're certainly not going to get an undercut on anyone. Or not many people. Albon's got that gap up to 1.6 seconds now. Does he dive into the pits? No, he stays out. And Piastri boxes, so Piastri going for an undercut on the Williams drivers here.
Okay, pit window is open.
Copy.
That's a decent stop. It's not particularly fast, but it's decent. Leclerc now really starting to push. He's now just 4.5 seconds behind. And it's going to be really close, actually, with Piastri. Piastri's just going to drop out behind him. But it's soft tyres for Oscar. So that, to me, confirms that he is doing a medium soft strategy, same as us. Oh, no, wait, he started on softs, didn't he? It's Antonelli's the only other driver who started on the mediums. Antonelli's tyres, yeah, looking pretty comparable to ours. Slightly better than ours, maybe. We are closing back in on Alonso and the cars in front. And if anything, I think it's very close lap times last time round. I thought Porsche might be closing in slightly. The gap does seem to have come down a little bit. But Albon is definitely the cork in the bottle at the moment. He's slowing down everybody behind. Surely he's going to peel into the pits this time. His tyres look gone, and here he comes. Hajar is in behind him. And so is Gabriel Bortoletto. Here comes Oscar Piastri. He is pushing on those new soft tyres. Can he get through past Alex Albon? It's going to be tight. Albon's been released, but I think he's going to easily get through, actually. There's Albon. Piastri does get through, but it was not as clear-cut as I thought it was going to be. Albon switched to mediums, so is Hajar. Bortoletto's gone to another set of softs. Ocon in the pits as well. Porsche is closing in, look. Gap is just about second. Now Sainz is the slow car that's holding up Alonso. Behrman's tyres are really in a bad state now. I expect to see him box this lap. New fastest lap for Yuki Tsunoda. And I'm looking at these guys on their softs who haven't boxed yet. There goes Carlos Sainz into the pits. And I'm looking at these guys and thinking, are they going to go for a one-stop? Just softs to mediums? I mean, they might. We're 14 laps in and those tyres are in really good shape still. Decent stop for Sainz. I expect Albon will go through. There goes Piastri and Leclerc. There goes Albon. And Hajar is going to try and get round him. Sainz is out just ahead of him. So now that Alonso doesn't have DRS,
How are the tires?
can we actually close that gap down a bit? We were slightly quicker on that last lap. There's Gasly lurking behind us. He's just 3 seconds behind us. Porsche's battery is back to being full. Mix is almost there. And we've got a yellow flag. In sector 2.
Single yellows.
A spin for Hajar. He got up the inside and then immediately dropped it.
Copy.
All right, let's box Mick this lap.
We box now.
Copy. Box is lap.
Porsche should be in DRS range at the end of the lap, and then we'll box him the next lap. It's a new fastest lap for Teo Porsche. For Oscar Piastri. And it is a 132.1. That's not amazingly quick compared to everybody else. Stuck behind Charles Leclerc. And Albon's right there with him as well.
Copy.
Just going to make sure that Porsche gets the DRS. Gasly is closing in on Teo. Just a little bit. It's a mistake from Kimi at the end of the
Now
lap.
here we are at the final corner. And they just can't keep on the track. But all being well and fingers
Goes off at
crossed,
14, rejoins
no
at
lasting
15.
damage to the car.
Don't think it's really hurting too much. And I'm not sure that Porsche actually did get DRS there, despite my best efforts. He didn't. Oh well, never mind. Worth a try. We'll bring Porsche in at the end of the lap.
So box.
Copy. Box.
Hamilton still leads from Max Verstappen, but it's so close between those two right now. Tsunoda's about 6 seconds further back in third. That's a decent stop. 2.3 seconds. Our pit crew suddenly starting to come alive this season. The very focused speed work that we did in pre-season seems to be paying dividends at the moment.
Copy.
Right, we've got a little bit of tyre wear that we can play with on each of these sets of
The main
softs.
thing
So
is
let's
the
push the
warm-up on
tyres
this
to
tyre.
warm them up a little bit quicker. Antonelli boxes just ahead of us. I was expecting to go a little bit longer, but then he had that mistake. Maybe that hurt his tyres a bit. Whatever the reason, he is off his tyres. Into the pits comes Porsche. Gasly is following us in. I wonder if Gasly would go an extra lap.
Copy.
See if we get a good stop here as well. 2.6. It's okay. It's not going to be good enough for points.
Might be close to
Mick's
this
gone
out.
through. We're going to come out, behind Bortoletto and Hajar. That's not ideal. See if we can stay in range
Gap 0.5.
while the tyres warm up.
Gasly's behind. Gap behind. 1 second.
Mick's starting to close that gap back to Alonso.
So keep on working those tyres.
Tires are okay.
Also just dropping back a little bit from Carlos Sainz. That should theoretically make it a little bit easier for us. Max and Hamilton swapping places. Hamilton's tyres are not in the same condition as the Red Bull drivers. So he will have to box earlier. That might give him a pretty good undercut. The undercut's reasonably powerful around this track. Just, I think, missed out on DRS. Push Porsche now. He hasn't got it this lap, but he'll have it on the next one. And we've got a yellow flag. Is that someone just running a little wide? It looks like it's Hulkenberg again. It is. Another lockup for Hulkenberg.
Nico Hulkenberg there. Oh, all right so far. Very heavy on the brakes. Now, they did leave it very late.
I can feel the sarcasm just waving off you there, Farah.
Tyres are in a good window.
Copy.
All right, here we go. Chance to make a move on Fernando.
Cool down.
But I don't want to...
Copy.
I don't want to get through just yet.
Copy.
I'll wait till the start of the lap. Porsche
Copy.
is having a look at Hajar. Not quite close enough there. Again, we'll wait till the end of the lap.
Copy.
Back off.
Copy.
Oh, god damn it. I think we missed the DRS again. Oh no, we did get it. We did get it, but we're too far back to do anything with it. Porsche, though, is definitely close enough.
Quick overtake.
Copy. Copy.
Just can't quite get the move done. He's got another chance here, though. And this time we'll use the battery as well. It's going to be a lunge up the inside. Gets the power down. Just puts his elbows out a little bit. Hajar has to go off the track, and we are through. You need to strengthen your neck muscles, Wayne. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, as they say.
Copy.
All right, let's see if we can close up on Alonso before he gets onto Sainz. No is the answer, I think. Yeah, we're just caught in that sort of dirty air cycle at the moment. Piastri and Antonelli having a little scrap here over 6th place. Antonelli is through. Hamilton and Verstappen still swapping places. Hamilton's tyres almost gone, though. He's going to be in very soon. Max, fresh off his victory in the last race, a 1-2 for Red Bull at technically a home circuit for them, given that they have Honda engines. Someone's developed a fault, and it's Ocon.
Deployment.
Battery issues for the Haas car. And Mick is not closing up, so we're going to stop burning battery.
Copy.
Porsche is through past Hajar,
Cancel,
but
overtake,
not closing in on
cancel, overtake.
Bortoleto yet. We're going to start to build his battery back up slowly as well. We have tyre wear on our side. Gasly gets through on Hajar. Gasly showing some decent pace here today. Terrible qualifying, but he's looked just as quick as us at times this weekend. New fastest lap for Kimi Antonelli as he tries to break away from Oscar. Oscar's just about hanging on to DRS though at the moment. Big gap to Russell, but Russell's still yet to stop, and I'm guessing his pace isn't going to be great at the moment. 135s against 132s and 133s. So yeah, not amazing pace. These two though, still pumping in some pretty quick lap times. I think Porsche was not quite. I thought he was the quickest guy on the track last time round. Antonelli obviously was. He set the fastest lap, but beyond that, Sainz was a little bit quicker than us. And only Sainz. Doohan was pretty close to us as well on those newish mediums. We have caught Bortoletto.
So your P14.
And that's a pretty straightforward overtake there. Bortoletto having to take to putting a couple of wheels over the edge of the curb there. A new fastest lap for Oscar Piastri, riding the slipstream of Kimi Antonelli. Hamilton's back in front again, still hasn't stopped yet. We're at 22 out of 57 laps. The one stop, maybe not quite on for Hamilton, given the state of his tyres. It's still very much on for Norris and Tsunoda. Look at the state of their tyres, and they still haven't stopped yet. Sainz gets through past Leclerc, and now Alonso gets past Leclerc. What happened to Charles? Did he just get a really bad exit from the corner? He just got nobbled twice in a couple of seconds. Here comes Max up the inside. So looked like there was going to be contact for a second then. Still these two stay out. First and second in the Grand Prix, first and second in the Drivers' World Championship. It's like 2020 and 2021 all over again, these two going head to head. And after a dismal season for Red Bull last season, they certainly look to have improved this year. The car does seem to be more competitive. Tsunoda seems to have settled in well as well. We have a yellow flag. Oh, Alonso with a lockup.
This is what happened as they took turn 8.
Both of our drivers
The wheels
might
just lock up
capitalise from that.
and
There
they
goes
ended up
Leclerc.
well
There
passenger.
goes Schumacher. Will Porsche get through? No, he's actually a bit further back. And Hamilton's into the pits. So, let's see what tyres is he going on to. It is mediums. He could try and one-stop this. It's not the greatest stop for Ferrari there. But he will get the undercut on Verstappen. He's going to have a little bit of clean air as well as Russell goes through, and there's a big gap back to Antonelli. Here is Mick closing in on the back of Charles Leclerc.
Copy.
Try and sneak a bit of extra battery here. Antonelli and Piastri still battling it out over 6th place.
Understood.
Ocon's into the pits.
Good, it's okay.
Let's see, is Max going to box this lap?
Yeah, copy.
Max is staying out, so that is a real opportunity then for Hamilton to get a solid undercut here. He's in clean air, so he's not being blocked by anybody. He can get those tyres up to temperature pretty quickly, and then he will be fast. We're now pushing on the back of Leclerc and Sainz, seeing if we can find a way through. It's going to be hard to get through, given that we're at the back of a train, but you never know. So Max did a 1:34.8 last lap. We did a 1:32.1. I imagine Hamilton will go quicker than that once he gets up to speed. We are all over Charles Leclerc. But Leclerc's still in DRS range of Carlos Sainz. This is going to make it tricky for Schumacher. We just don't have enough straight line speed. I think the best bet for now would be to just protect the tyres a little bit, build the battery back up, and then have another crack in a few laps' time. Russell dives into the pits. Hamilton was closing really quickly. Got the gap down to just 2.5 seconds. He sets a fastest lap across the line, and he was 2.7 seconds quicker than Max. He's going to be miles ahead of Verstappen when Verstappen does eventually box. Where's Russell going to feed out? Behind Schumacher. Will Alonso sneak through? It'll be tight with Alonso, but he should just hold him off. And he does. And there's Teo. Just all over Leclerc, but there's no way through with Leclerc getting the DRS on Sainz. That Ferrari is too strong with DRS for us to overcome. At least at the moment. Behrman into the pits. And he's out on a set of soft tyres. Let's turn our attention back to this three-way fight. Albon's only a second and a half up the road as well. Oh, and Norris develops a fault.
I've lost power.
Still yet to stop Lando Norris. Max is still going as well. It's another 1:34.7 for Verstappen. It's another 1:32 for Hamilton, a 1:32.9. but it's still nearly 2 seconds quicker than Max. Leclerc finally gets alongside. Can he get the power down and complete the move?
Copy. Copy.
No, he can't. But maybe that loss of traction out the corner will make him vulnerable to us. This is the time for us to push. Let's really go for it. We've got plenty of spare tyre. New fastest lap for Esteban Ocon, a 1:32.0. Trying to just put Leclerc under enough pressure that he loses the DRS. Russell is right behind us. And Mick's having a little look. He hasn't got enough pace. But Leclerc is barely hanging on to Sainz now because of the pressure we're putting on him. Tsunoda's into the pits ahead of Max. That is a surprise. Tsunoda's tyres are in better shape. Medium tyres for him. We're at about the halfway point of this Grand Prix, so the one stop is on. Very much on. Hamilton's long gone. He's already in turn 2. And hunting down Lando Norris. Here comes the battle with us. Did Leclerc get the DRS again? I think he did. He just can't find a way through. It's a Ferrari. It's just so strong. Here's a chance, though. Nope. We have to lift, and we lose a load of momentum. All right, we're going to destroy the tyres trying to get through. We're just going to have to bide our time and hope at this point. Oh, wait. Leclerc is now out of range. We have forced the gap. Can we actually do anything about it, though? Another fastest lap from Behrman, a 1:31.9. Pourchaire has caught the back of Alonso. Let's see if we can get him through.
Overtake. Copy.
And Max is finally into the pits. How far behind is he going to drop out? Chance he might come out behind Antonelli here. Medium tyres. That should be him to the end. I think he will get through ahead of Antonelli. It's going to be tight, though. There is Kimi. And he just gets him into turn 1. It's a new fastest lap for Mick. We finally get past Charles Leclerc, and George follows straight through as well. We're on the back of Albon. Is that going to save us? Because we need the DRS. We do get the DRS. We need to calm those tyres right down because we've just murdered them. And now we need to start to rebuild the battery again behind the two Williams that are fighting.
Lovely stuff. Leclerc, the car.
Pourchaire's got through on Fernando as well. It's all happening at the moment. That's a lovely move up the inside. And we got the DRS on Fernando as well on the exit of 3. There we go. So a chance for Teo to start to close back up on Charles Leclerc. Bortoletto is struggling. His tyres have gone. So he gets overtaken by Liam Lawson. Hamilton has caught Lando. He's 10 seconds ahead of Verstappen. Verstappen is going to have to hunt him down as Lando finally hits the pits. So it's track position for Hamilton and a new fastest lap, a 1:31.5. But Verstappen is going to be able to hunt him down with fresher tyres. Piastri's in as well. So it's both McLaren stopping on this lap. There goes Yuki Tsunoda. Antonelli needs to stop again. It's a bad stop for Piastri. It's a really bad stop for Piastri. Leclerc's into the pits.
Oh no! That's a slow pit stop there.
Norris comes out behind Albon and Russell. So we've already cleared
Good
two of
job.
them.
Currently
Next up
P6.
is the second Williams of Carlos Sainz. He's broken free a little bit. I don't think we're going to be able to keep George behind, but this is a disaster for Norris. Not only has he developed that engine issue with his car, but he's come out behind this battle here. And we're not going to be in any hurry to let him through. Behrman sets another fastest lap. Where is this pace coming from Behrman?
No DRS. No DRS.
George squeezes through. Maybe we can stay with George.
Remember the eye, come on.
Max coming up to cross the line. Let's see what his lap time is. The 1:31.6.
Up 1.1.
This could be another double podium for Red Bull here tonight. The only question is, which steps will they occupy?
How are the tires?
Would it be first and third or second and third?
Starting to struggle with the rear.
And we have a yellow flag somewhere on track, and that is a crash at the back, and I think that's Behrman.
Still quite a few deliveries on track.
It is. Ollie Behrman just pushes into, I think, Hulkenberg. Or was it Bortoletto? I'm not sure. One of the two. It was Hulkenberg. So Hulkenberg has some pretty serious damage to his car. It's his front wing. He's missing a good chunk of it. That's probably going to be a penalty for Behrman. Hulkenberg's going to have to stop to replace that front wing.
Come on, keep it up.
Mick is just about keeping with George at the moment. Porsche has caught the back of these guys now.
Recharge on. Copy that.
It is a penalty for Behrman. And a new nose cone for Hulkenberg. But he has some serious damage, maybe to another part of the car, possibly. He comes out behind
Car in front.
Lewis Hamilton,
Norris.
so that is him
Let's
lapped.
take a closer look.
Porsche
Here we are,
through
looking
on
at
Alex
turn
Albon.
11. The opportunity begging to be taken. And they move into ninth.
Recharge on.
All right, so Norris is all over us here. We're going to get overtaken. We couldn't quite stay with George. If George can get his pace up, he might possibly be able to challenge Tsunoda
It's coming to us.
for third place. And Norris is through. He's not that far behind George now, thanks to George getting held up. He might still factor
Okay,
in for
Norris,
third
race is
place.
long.
We're into our nearly open pit window area. We've got 4 laps till we're supposed to stop. Currently running 8th and 9th. Some cars behind are going to undercut us. Albon, Gasly, Alonso, Hajar, Lawson, Stroll. But those guys, some of those guys are a long way behind. We are doing what we needed to do today, and that's, you know, make the most of our opportunities where we can. Albon's still clinging on to the back of us. He is going to be boxing before we do, so he'll undercut and we'll have to fight and get past him again. Let's take stock as we're on lap 33 of 57. Hamilton leads from Max Verstappen by 9 seconds. The gap slowly coming down, but very slowly. Tsunoda in third is about 8 seconds further back. As into the pits goes Gasly. Antonelli's fourth, but needs to stop, and that will happen probably this lap or the next one. Russell in fifth. Norris in sixth. Those guys are actually a net P4 and P5 at the moment. Then it's Sainz ahead of Schumacher, Porsche, Albon and Alonso. Everyone there needs to stop again. Piastri in 12th, Leclerc 13th. Those guys are going to the end. Lawson 14th, 15th for Doohan, 16th for Stroll. Gasly and Hajar in the pits, 17th and 18th, as Ocon goes through into 18th now. Then it's Behrman in 20th with a penalty, a 5-second penalty, as he gets through ahead of Hajar. Bortoletto sneaks on through as well. That means Hajar will be in 21st, but going to the end. Hulkenberg in 22nd, a long way back with that new wing and lapped.
Gap 1.4. You can do it.
We've almost got our fuel back to neutral as well. Starting to just close in on Sainz again. Might possibly get the DRS here. I think we might have just snuck it. We have finally managed to break Alex Albon. And we have a yellow flag, don't Mateo. It's a spin for Behrman. He's having a horrible start to his career, isn't he? He's had all sorts of mistakes and incidents. And there's another one, a huge spin at turn 11. New fastest lap for Charles Leclerc, a 1:31.5. I think Behrman's going to box. He is boxing. Pushing just a little bit too hard on those tyres on his in lap there. He'll be stationary for 5 seconds before the mechanics can touch the car. And they need to change his front wing as well, so this is going to be a 13-14 second pit stop in the end with that wing change and the penalty. And he still has significant damage. Oh, no, it's cleared it. He will come out behind... Is that Verstappen or Tsunoda? That's Tsunoda. So very much firmly at the back of the grid now. We're in range of Carlos Sainz. Albon dives into the pits to get an undercut on us.
Yeah.
We'll get off those mediums. He'll probably go softs now to the end.
Doing a really good job.
And we got past Carlos Sainz there.
Now we should be able to
Decent
take a
stop
look
for
now.
Albon.
And it was Mick Schumacher involved.
And once
they
again, we
squeeze
get
by.
through and get the DRS in the process to be able to pull away.
Up that takes them to 7th place.
Lovely little move. There goes Albon out of the pits. Where's he going to feed out? Behind the Alpines, Doohan and Gasly. Doohan still needs to stop again. He's holding up his teammate here. Can Gasly swoop through? Yes, he's got the DRS. He will get the move done into turn... Well, before we even get to turn 4. So Gasly is released. Now Doohan needs to act as a rear gunner before he boxes and hold up Albon. Sainz is going to box this lap. I'm going to box next lap.
Need a big push.
And I'm going to take a risk, and I'm going to box both cars on the same lap.
Copy, copy.
Antonelli's in. That's a good stop for Antonelli. That's a pretty decent stop for Sainz. Alonso's gone through. He will get out in front of Gasly. There is Gasly. Albon has got through on doing now, but he's lost some ground. He's a couple of seconds behind.
We'll box at the end of this lap.
Alonso's going to be
Copy,
boxing this lap.
box.
As long as we don't have a bad stop with Mick, we'll be fine. We've got a 6-second gap between our two drivers. And I know I've just done the curse of the commentator there. Let's see if we can get out in front of Sainz.
Recharge on.
Copy that. Pit entry.
Here we go. Double stop. Make me proud, boys. .4, that's good.
We'll be fighting.
2.3, that's even better. That's fantastic. Sainz has gone
We're going
through,
to be clear at pit out.
but he's being held up by Alonso, who
Currently
still
P11.
hasn't stopped.
Gap 1.5 behind.
And that's us there. We are really close. Porsche is out behind Alex Albon, behind Gasly.
So your P14. Alex the car in front. Gap 1.7.
Max sets a new fastest lap of 1:31.3. Albon gets through. Sorry, Sainz gets through. We get through on Alonso as well. And the gap to Hamilton is down to 6.3 seconds.
Currently P10.
New fastest lap for Kimi Antonelli as Ocon gets a fault.
Deployment.
So his battery's playing up again. Alonso finally hits the pits. Let's see where he comes out. It's not a bad stop. He's going to come out in front of his teammate.
Need to focus on going forward now.
There is Stroll. Alonso stayed out way too long on those tyres. It's cost him dearly. 8 seconds behind Lawson at the moment. Let's cut back to Mick. The plan is not to push these tyres for a while. And then really start to push them towards the end. When our opposition's tyres are in worse shape. That's the plan. Don't know if it's going to work out that way or not, but that is the plan. Mick currently P10, Porsche in 13th. A chance of finishing with both cars in the points, but Mick should definitely get some points today. Question now remains how many. The absolute best we can do is 6th place. The likelihood of us getting 6th place, not that great. New fastest lap for Carlos Sainz. If I thought it was worth us going for the fastest lap, I would. But with no bonus point, I'd rather save the wear on the tyres and then use it later. When we have a chance to actually get something out of it. Lawson gets ahead of Bortoletto. He's up to 15th, so 14th and 15th for RB. It's a far cry from last season, isn't it? I mean, I know they've changed their driver lineup, but it wouldn't account for that big a drop in performance, I don't think. The car just not quite as strong as it was last year. Let's turn our attention to Charles Leclerc, fighting Kimi Antonelli for 6th place. He's got the quicker car, but he has worn his tyres out a bit more. Antonelli shuts the door on him there. .17.5 laps to go, and the gap to Verstappen is now just over 5 seconds. It is still coming down. We could be on for a real barn burner with the last couple of laps here. As Gasly and Albon swap places. Norris and Russell fighting over 4th place at the moment, and these two are not catching Tsunoda, so it looks as though it is going to be 2 Red Bulls on the podium tonight. And still Leclerc cannot find a way through.
Overtake is available.
Copy.
Will he get him this time? He's close. Antonelli tries to cover him off. Leclerc goes up the inside. I don't know if he got the DRS or if he gave it away to Antonelli. Antonelli's still there. He's through. Antonelli's got the DRS. Is he going to take the place right back? He's having a look. And Leclerc shuts him down. And that might be it now. Leclerc might be able to consolidate P6, but I don't think he's going to get any better than that. Not in the time that's remaining. That Ferrari's quick, but I don't think it's going to make up 22 seconds to George in the remaining 16 laps. And he's still got Antonelli close behind anyway, so he's going to have to fight him all the way. In fact, he's going to have to fight him into turn 11 here. Antonelli dive bombs up the inside and gets through. Meanwhile, we'll turn our attention to Teo, who is closing in on Albon and Gasly. Those two fighting over each other, fighting over 11th place, slowing them down. Plus we're using our battery to get within range. And there we go, we are in range.
Recharge on.
Okay, copy, copy.
Easy on the
That's
tyres.
where we need to be.
Copy, copy.
Russell and Norris still fighting over 4th place. Russell back up into 4th. Gasly back through on Albon.
Albon ahead. Gap 0.7. So
We're just
stay
going to
disciplined.
sit here for a few laps to rebuild the battery, save a little bit of extra tyre wear, and then we're going to go on the attack. Trying. Oh, Norris's fault escalates.
I've lost power.
That might kill his chances of beating Russell today. I'm trying to get Schumacher onto the back of Sainz. And I'm going to run out of battery. I'm not going to be able to do it without pushing the tyres, I don't think. So we'll have to wait on that one. Focus back in on Teo.
Albon in front. Gap 0.5. Just got to be patient here. Bit more lift and coast will help.
Copy.
Once again, it's going to be a fight into turn 1 between those two, and they've both gone very far to the inside.
Battery's full.
Copy.
Mick not really lapping any quicker than Sainz. Gap's down to 2.6, 2.7 seconds. Sainz is pretty quick.
Gap 0.4. The race is on. Recharge on.
Copy.
And I think we might be about to split these guys up. Now that we're close to Gasly, he's going to feel the need to start driving a little bit more defensively, and that might give Albon the opportunity to scamper away. Gasly barely hanging on to DRS.
Battery is available.
Copy.
And there we go, we get ourselves through.
Let's go.
And now we can go hunting after Albon.
Okay, nice job. Alex, the car in front. Alex at 1.1. Gap 0.9. Recharge on.
We'll have a look into turn 1 again. Taking a little bit more time out of Sainz. Gap's down to 2.1 seconds. Sainz is closing in on Piastri as well, though, so I think we could be on for 8th place.
Nice job with these tyres.
Don't think we'll be able to go any further than that. Leclerc and Antonelli between them have opened up that gap back to Piastri quite quickly.
Back into our left and coast.
There we go, Gasly has been left behind now. You hope that Max is saving himself. Well, the gap's still coming down. I mean, we've still got plenty of time. We've still got 12 and a half laps left for the front runners.
Gap 0.6.
There is Hamilton. So it's nearly 12 laps left for those two. And the gap's down to 3.5 seconds. He's been eking that gap out little by little every lap. Like I said, we're being set up for a really strong
B-charge on.
fight at the very end of this race between those two. Sainz now within a second of Piastri. And I want to get past Albon emphatically here. I don't want to just, get... Oh, well, never mind. I was going to say, I wanted to use the DRS on the main straight to absolutely blitz him. But we're going to have to push earlier than initially planned there because we got through. So now we have to break him. Couldn't quite get the DRS broken this time round. I think that there in the distance was Mick. And Sainz gets through on Piastri. So Piastri's pace falling away. It's on those medium tyres. Gap down to 3 seconds for Verstappen. There is Hamilton trying to fight his way through the traffic. He's just lapped Ocon. He's coming up to the back of Doohan. You doing, Victor? And there we go. We have broken through. There goes Hamilton through.
Exaggerate, lift and coast now.
Max will have lost a little bit of time.
Okay, so try and cool the tyres.
And Russell's into the pits.
Copy.
And he's developed a fault as well.
Check deployment.
ERS issues for George. A new set of softs. Where is he going to feed out? There goes Charles Leclerc. There goes Kimi Antonelli. He's going to come out ahead of Sainz and Piastri, but only just. In fact, he might even come out behind Sainz. It's going to be really tight. Just gets in front of him. So 8th is the hard cut-off point now. That's the best we're going to do.
Gap 1.6.
All right, let's save the battery now for Teo.
B-charge on.
Let's try and push onto the back of Oscar so I can quickly rebuild that battery for Mick. Just as we did for Teo on Alex. Because I want to go after Sainz. I don't want Sainz to get a monster tow from Russell and get pulled all the way up to Antonelli and Leclerc. George is now probably got a limit of Leclerc, P5. And look at this, the gap is down to just over a second with 10, well, less than 10, 9.5 laps to go. Max looking to make it 2 wins on the bounce.
Gap 1.1. Get on the rhythm, come on.
Nick just about in range of Piastri. Here comes Max. He's going to get DRS. So we have a 9-lap fight now between Hamilton and Max to the end. Tyres are pretty similar, slight edge to Verstappen, but not by much. Max has a look, but can't get through, and he loses some momentum there. It cost him about half a second, that little look. Mick is through on Oscar already,
Let's take
damn
a
it.
look at the replay. Now we're watching the action closely here.
I wanted to have a lap or two behind him to rebuild the battery before I went after Sainz. Never mind,
And
we're
they
through.
move into ninth.
I think Sainz is still tucked up behind. Oh no, he has been dropped now. Russell has dropped him. So we are 2.8 seconds behind, and we've got plenty of spare rubber. New fastest lap for George Russell, a 129.8. That is comfortably the fastest lap. And these two old rivals are set to do battle once more. Let's see if we can get Porsche on the back of Piastri. Where is Mick? There he is. All right, we need to break away from Oscar as quickly as we can.
Copy.
Didn't quite manage it there, but we should hopefully do it by the end of the lap. This will maybe get us onto the back of Sainz as well. Longer we stay, because we're quicker than Piastri and potentially quicker than Teo. We keep dragging Piastri with us. It's going to make it damn near impossible for Porsche to catch him.
Gap 1.4.
Oh, we are
Ice
so close.
cold.
We're out of battery, but we are close.
Copy.
Hamilton and Verstappen have got traffic. I think that's Stroll and Bortoletto. It is. There's Stroll.
Gap 1.0. Try to keep going.
Stroll pulls out of the way. Lets the pair of them through. I don't know if Hamilton's close enough to get DRS off Bortoletto. I think possibly not.
Copy.
Cool down. Cool down.
Yeah, copy.
Mick now on the back of Sainz, and there is the possibility of maybe catching Antonelli as well. And we get the move done on Sainz. That was unexpected.
Okay, good job. So currently P8.
I need to calm the tyres down though, so I don't think we're going to be able to drop him, so I'm going to stay in harvest. I'm going to save a little bit of fuel as well to slow Mick down a bit.
Currently
Hamilton's
P8.
still leading from Verstappen, but these two are nose to tail. And they're 20 seconds ahead of the battle. Well, that's not even a battle. They're 20 seconds ahead of third place, Yuki Tsunoda. Norris is in fourth and 16 seconds further back. George, 10 seconds or so behind Norris, but closing quickly. He took 3.4 seconds out of Norris on that last lap, and Norris has got engine issues. Porsche is closing in on the back of Piastri. So we will be able to get him into the top 10. I don't know if I'll be able to get him any higher than that.
So stay disciplined.
One of the reasons why I'm just easing the pace off a little bit with Mick while we calm him down and build these up is I don't want to drag Sainz away from Piastri too much. As Verstappen makes the move and Hamilton immediately fires back through. I want to watch this fight, but I also want to keep an eye on what's going on with my drivers because they're in fights of their own. And they're more important because they're what pay the bills. There we go. We've caught up. Let's start to just recharge a little bit there.
Okay, so just increase the left and coast end of straight.
Copy.
And now we are ready to push. And break away from Sainz and
Everything
go
you have,
after
come
Kimi. And if we get past Kimi, depending on how quickly we catch him, maybe Charles as well. I don't know. I doubt it. We've broken Sainz. Max gets through into turn 1. I think he'll have the DRS as well. He does. Russell is hunting down Lando Norris. It's just 5 seconds the gap now in the fight for 4th. And I'm just 2 seconds behind Kimi Antonelli.
Just focus ahead.
Copy.
5 laps to go.
5 laps for us. It's a little over 4 laps left for these guys. And Mick is close to Antonelli. I think that's as high as we can go, 7th. But that would be an amazing result for Mick. Porsche has caught the back of Piastri. We are charging him up. I don't know if I can go after Sainz. We will try. And there we go. We're on to Antonelli.
Deployment.
I need to investigate what's going on with Ocon's car because I think it's an intermittent fault that keeps coming back. But I don't want to miss anything on track, so we're going to pause for a second.
Yeah, 1.2.
And let's have a look.
Just got to be patient here.
So yeah, he has had that fault a couple of times. And now it's just gone orange. So he had a temporary fault. It then became a more permanent fault. And it's now going to start doing some serious damage to that ERS. That will be replaced at the end of this race, now that it's gone orange. Let's go back to the track. Back to the action.
Battery's good when you want it.
Copy.
You're good to reduce left and coast.
Copy.
Let's push here.
Russell's fault gets worse as well.
Deployment out of 10 feels terrible.
So that's going to be an escalation of his battery issues. Here's Mick on the back of Kimi Antonelli.
4 laps to go.
Understood.
4 laps remaining. Porsche has drifted away from Oscar.
Just looking ahead.
And we've got a yellow flag. And I don't know who's at fault. It's, of course, it's Behrman. Oh, my word. He's had a miserable afternoon.
Too much service there.
And while all that was happening, the crew in the garage could do nothing but watch on.
What a shocker of a weekend for him.
Gap 1.1. The race is on.
There is Charles Leclerc into turn 11 ahead of us. There is Porsche behind Piastri in the background.
No looking in the mirrors. Full focus ahead. Come on.
And we're going to push Mick on this next lap.
V-charge on.
It's 7 seconds to Leclerc. It's too much, but we'll have a go anyway. We've got another yellow flag. Is it Behrman again? No, it's George running a little wide.
Let's have a look at the action. It's all at the final corner.
Trying to go around Lando Norris.
Wide they go.
Just runs
And you
out of
really
road.
Can't do that too often with these cars.
Yeah, copy.
And here we go.
4 left to
Making our move.
Copy.
3 laps to go.
Copy.
That is a better shot than the one we took earlier. We have the inside line, we have fuel, we have battery, we have tyres, we have DRS, and we are through and away. And Porsche does exactly the same to Piastri. And now has 3 seconds to go to catch Sainz in the background.
Let's push on.
Copy that.
We've already pulled out over a second to Kimi. It's 2 laps to go for Verstappen, and he has pulled out a gap over Lewis. Has Hamilton got anything to answer that, or is this again another win for Verstappen? Is it going to be back-to-back wins? I haven't seen the field so dotted out like this for a while. There's no big groups or clusters, but spread out. Everyone's within range of someone that they could attack. Look at this. You've got Hajar and Gasly. You've got Ocon and Hulkenberg close. There's just a couple of seconds between Piastri and Porsche and Sainz, and then Antonelli, and then Mick, and Norris and Russell, and Hamilton and Verstappen. There's so many gaps that are close where we could still see something happening. Max's tyres are actually in worse shape now slightly than Hamilton's, but the gap is almost 2 seconds with a lap to go. I think this is Max's to win. I don't think he's going to lose this one now. Mick isn't going to catch Leclerc, but he is going to stay clear of Antonelli. Porsche could still catch Carlos Sainz. We're going to turn our attention back to that. We've got to push to try and make sure we get the DRS to stand a chance of getting alongside him.
Car in front, Sainz.
It's close. Can we get the DRS? We are just outside of range. Sainz is going to be pushing with everything he's got left. It's half a lap to go for Hamilton and Verstappen, and the gap is 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds. This is Max's race to lose now. Hadjar's tyres are in real danger of falling off the cliff. He's trying to find a way past Gasly at the end. Porsche is right there, just outside of range. This is going to be right down to the wire for Teo. Can we get the move done?
Copy.
Into the final couple corners for Verstappen. He exits turn 15, driving for the line. And he wins his second Grand Prix in a row. Hamilton will take second.
Car in front, signed.
It will be a distant third, but a
1.6.
third place for Sonoda.
Stay disciplined.
And Verstappen finishes first.
I don't think anyone could be disappointed with a race like that. A consummate professional through and through.
The tyres are peaking.
We have DRS, but I don't know if we've got enough left. It's going to come down to who can get the power down
Energy's good to keep on pushing.
into the final turn. I've got to be really careful on the fuel.
Cancel lifting close for now.
Copy.
Oh God, no! Mick just ran out of fuel.
So into your
No,
lifting
I
post.
forgot about Mick's fuel.
Post.
God damn it!
Good battery is great.
We went from having 2 cars in the points to Mick failing to finish.
Okay.
And that's
Second
not
flag.
just cost me points, it's cost me $735,000 as well.
Ready, guys.
I got so wrapped up in the Verstappen-Hamilton fight,
Thank you very much.
I completely forgot
Yeah,
about
really
Schumacher's
sensible drive.
pissing fuel.
Okay, into the pit lane.
Oh, what a horrible way to end the race. We had 7th place on a silver platter.
Karun, what a brilliant drive we just witnessed there.
There wasn't too much expectation on them today, but they fought hard and found themselves in the points.
We may see these kind of scenes a lot in Formula One, but it's easy to forget just what it means to the whole team. Well, Max Verstappen can add yet another podium to his already impressive record.
That's their second win of the season. A brilliant talent who looks so at home on the track.
And with that, the drivers finally get the chance to cool off and enjoy themselves. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
It was a strangely mixed weekend for them. We saw one driver put in a strong performance, but it was a different story for the other. Definitely positives there though.
And that is about that for this weekend's action here in Bahrain.
The teams now look ahead to the next round, where they'll duel it out in the sand dunes of Saudi Arabia.
Oh, God. How many times has this happened to us recently? Where we've run out of fuel and thrown away a decent finish or even points. God damn. Even though we finished in the top 16 because we weren't lapped, it's not going to count as a finish because we retired. So it's not going to give us any cash, unfortunately. Confirmation of the final results. slightly deflating. But it's another win for Max. It's 2 on the bounce now for Verstappen, and he will extend his lead at the top of the driver's standings. Hamilton in second. Good fight between the two of them for most of the Grand Prix. Shame it kind of fizzled out towards the end there. I was hoping to see them battle all the way to the line. Tsunoda up 4 places to take 3rd place and another podium for himself and for Red Bull. George takes 4th. Lando in 5th. George had some pretty serious battery issues towards the end. Lando had some serious engine issues. Leclerc in 6th, hurt by that early spin. Or was it a lockup? I forget, but I think it was a big spin that really hurt his tyres and dropped him out of position. He had to box at the end of lap 7, and that kind of threw his strategy out the window a little bit. Antonelli takes 7th. It should have been Mick. Should have been Mick in 7th. Sainz gets 8th. Pourchaire up 6 places to take 9th. So at least we did rescue some points out of today. But we had a real chance to get 2 cars in the top 10 in 7th and 9th. Or 7th and 10th. In the end, it's Oscar who takes the final point in 10th place. Albon takes 11th, just missing out on points of his own. Gasly, I said he had some good pace today, up 7 places to finish in 12th. Would have been 13th, but a good race for him. It's 13th place for Hajar, up 8 places to take 14th for Liam Lawson. He was pretty anonymous in qualifying, but he had a decent little race today, didn't he? Up 8 places. Alonso having some issues, finishing down at 15th. Mick finishing or classified as 16th, but will be a non-finisher. Stroll 17th, 18th for Doohan, 19th for Hulkenberg, 20th for Ocon, 21st for Bortoletto, and Oliver Behrman. What a horrible race for him. He finishes in 22nd and quite a way back. Let's take a look then at the drivers' standings. Max top with 88 points. The gap now up to 16 over Lewis Hamilton. Yuki Tsunoda in 3rd is now on 59 points. Leclerc losing a bit more ground. He's now 9 points behind Tsunoda. Russell closing the gap to Leclerc a little bit. He's up to 39 points. And Antonelli moves above Sainz into 6th place. So it's the big 3 teams that you would expect from days gone by that are occupying the top 6 places. McLaren, mixed afternoon for them. A decent result for Norris. He gets himself up into the top 10. Oscar is 8th behind Carlos Sainz. Sainz is just a point behind Antonelli, 8 points ahead of Piastri. Mick, no points for him today. He could have jumped up to 8th place above Piastri, but he stays on 19 points, just 1 ahead of Lando Norris now. Pourchaire down a place into 11th thanks to Norris's result, but up 2 more points. He's on to 11 now. Then it's Albon, Lawson, Behrman, and then the non-scorers, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Gasly, Alonso moving ahead of Ocon, Doohan, Hajar, and Bortoletto drops to the bottom of the field. Let's take a look at the constructors. Red Bull top with 147 points. Not quite a maximum haul today, but not far off. 40 more points for them. Ferrari get 26. They're now on 122 and 25 points behind Red Bull. Mercedes in 3rd on 68 points. McLaren up 2 places into 4th. They're on 38 points. They're starting to come good after a very, very slow start to the season. Williams dropped down into 5th place. They're on 32 points. We dropped down another place into 6th. We're on 30 points. We should be ahead of Williams today and potentially ahead of McLaren, or at least level with McLaren, around them anyway. So, yeah, very, very frustrated by that. Red Bull have 2 points in 7th place. Haas have a point in 8th. And then if we look at the bottom, it's no points for Aston, Sauber, and Alpine, who are 9th, 10th, and 11th, respectively. Let's take a look then at the pit stops. Can we at least salvage something there this weekend? Yes, we can. We had two of the quickest stops of the day were 2nd and 3rd there. George with the fastest outright time, 2.28, a 2.30 and a 2.31 for us. sees us score 33 points this weekend in the DHL Pit Stop Challenge. That's a really, really good result for us there. Alpine 4th, Mercedes 5th, so they get 35 points this weekend. They're the top scorers today. And let's see where everyone else finished. Williams in 6th, Sauber 7th, Aston 8th, Red Bull 9th. Racing Bulls 9th, Red Bull in 10th. No sign of Ferrari or McLaren. Bit of a surprise to see them not on here, or at least both teams not on here. We saw a horrible stop for a couple of drivers today, and yeah, no points for them. Let's see what that's done to the competition. Mercedes go top, up 3 places. They go up into first place on 76 points, 4 ahead of Red Bull, who've got just 1 point today. So one big result has really turned this table on its head. Racing Bulls down a place into 3rd. They picked up 2 points today. We're just 5 points behind them as we climb 3 places into 4th. We're on 52 points now, 33 gained today. No points from McLaren. They stay on 41 points. They drop down into 5th. Alpine down a place into 6th. Despite picking up some points, they're picked up 12 today. They're 6 behind McLaren. And then 9 points further back is Sauber. They're on 26 points in 7th. Aston in 8th have 22. Ferrari not having a great start to the season with the pit stops. They're in 9th place. They have just 11 points after 4 Grand Prix. Williams move above Haas by a point into 10th. They have 9. Oh no, I'm not by more than a point. By 6 points. Haas have 3 points at the bottom of the table. And there you see a summary of our stops. 2 really good stops for Mick, 2.3 and 2.4. A 2.6, not the greatest stop for Porsche, but quickest stop of our afternoon for his second stop. More than made up for that. And a huge haul of points for us in this competition today. Mick does finish 18th or higher, but because he didn't technically finish, doesn't earn any sponsor money for us, which is so annoying. 735,000 added for Teo. So yeah, but at a time when we desperately needed the money, we just lost $735,000. But hey, at least we have a rear wing. We have a spare rear wing. So we have 4 days to go until Jeddah, but we have quite a bit of stuff to deal with before we get there. We are going to deal with that tonight. So let's dive into the inbox first of all. Let's check the post-race email. The front wing and the suspension failed on Mick's car. They will need to be replaced, and that was the only Mark II chassis. That's right, Mark II suspension we had. We should have a spare front wing, I think. But yeah, Mick's car not going to be quite so good in the next Grand Prix, because we won't have time to make another suspension. Let's take a look at the overhaul. We went for a complete rear wing overhaul, and that looks to have been voted through. Ferrari, McLaren, Williams, Haas, Sauber, and Aston joining us in voting through those changes. So it's 50% on everything except for the rear wing, and that's 70% on everything. Those are the changes that we wanted, and those are the changes we're going to get. 7-4, that vote passed. Speaking of rear wings, there is confirmation that we have that spare made. So we have a spare rear wing now. Let's fix up the car if we can. We do not have a spare front wing, so we will need to make another one. And it's worth a little bit of downforce, some dirty air tolerance, which is definitely more important. So we are going to need to manufacture at least one of those. 2 would have been nice, but we'll settle for 1. Do I actually have some parts going through at the moment? Yes, a chassis that will be ready for Teo. The suspension, how many am I building? Am I building 2? I am. So I'll have a replacement suspension for Mick going into the next race. And then Taya's just going to have to wait till after Jeddah before he gets his suspension. We have just $655,000 in the bank, but we are about to get our sponsor money through. So let's advance one day. We achieve our target with some leftover spare as well. That's 4 million there. Did we have a compulsory mandatory activity? No, we did not. That's a bit of a shame. So let's start doing some research, shall we? Let's start with the most important one, the rear wing. We're going to dump everything into the rear wing. This ATR only has 2 weeks left before it ends. We've been saving this ATR until we could actually afford to spend money on it, and it just so happens that the first thing we're going to do is boost this, because every single part is going to get a 70% reduction. We're not going to focus on anything in particular. We're going to leave the sliders as they are and make sure that everything gets equal attention. Let's confirm that. That's 1.8 mil in the taking out the bank balance. So we've got 2.9 mil left. Let's see. How many ATRs am I going to have left? So that is ATR period 3. I think we have, what is it, 6 ATR periods? Yeah, we have 6. So we've got 4 more remaining. So one of our parts is not going to get some much needed love and attention on the reg changes. So I need to decide what part we're going to basically not necessarily sacrifice, but not be able to give full attention to for next season. I don't want it to be the front wing, because the front wing could be worth quite a lot of performance. I might go with the side pod as the part that's going to get the least attention. Side pod will give us only 4 things to worry about. The chassis only gives us 4 things as well, but that's worth a lot of performance in terms of pace, so I don't want to sacrifice that. So I think the side pod is going to be the part that isn't going to get the ATR, because we've got 4 ATRs remaining. So that'll be the front wing, the chassis, the underfloor, and the suspension. Need to make sure that the suspension gets some love, because that's going to affect our tyre wear when that gets massively reset. Underfloor is important for downforce, so we can't really ignore that. Front wing, really important for low speed downforce, dirty air tolerance. Can't really afford to ignore that. Rear wing, we've already dumped 1 ATR on, and we'll continue to make sure that we put that in projects in that at every opportunity this season, because it's a 70% reduction in performance. And the chassis is really important for speed. So we're going to have to sacrifice the side pod. Our engine cooling is going to take a big hit as a result, but we will chip away as much as we can by just dropping in, as many of these basic research projects as we can. So we're at least getting something in on the side pod. That leaves me with 1.9 mil. I do want to try and design something new. I think maybe a new chassis might be possibly the way to go. Let's see what I can do. If I can find a little bit more performance. That'll be worth... I was going to say I don't really want to focus on the medium and the high speed, but it's the low speed that's really strong. It's the medium and the high speed we do need to balance out a little bit more. But we need to reduce drag on the car, so let's go with that. I think 17 or 0.17 kilometers now, a little bit of extra acceleration saved. DRS will get a slight little nudge. We'll get a slight little nudge there. A minimal nudge on the engine cooling, but that will be worth, you know, a nice little bit of performance, especially on the DRS. You know, despite it only being a tiny bit, rank-wise, it'll be worth a fair bit. Yeah, we need to just keep stripping drag off this car. So let's design a new chassis. And that leaves me with less than $1 million. So I can't even do a part. So we will invest that into another suspension upgrade, or another suspension part to be added to the manufacturing queue, and another 2 front wings. And I've got 200 grand left. There we go. Let's check in with the board. Let's see what they thought. They were delighted with the result in Sakhir because we've got points. That's 4 races from 4 that we have actually achieved a points finish. So we are well on target at the moment to get the long-term objective done. It's just a shame that we didn't get anywhere near the points that I was hoping we were going to get. We are on target for finishing in 6th at the moment, so that's okay. Car part test center and suspension simulator both need some attention, but I just don't have the money at the moment. Let's hope we get a really good payout on the next sponsor plan. Let's take a look. We have an energy drink advert cameo, which is worth 1.3 mil to go with a 4.1 that we'll get. So that's worth 5.4 mil at the end of the 6-week period. Let's make sure that we get Luke in there. Let's see. What else can we throw in there? I don't really want to throw one of my main drivers in. Let's throw our Scout. And say Scout singular because we don't have multiple Scouts. We'll send off a couple of engineers. We're going to have to do something big to make up the gaps. So let's go with VIP tours of the factory. And then what next? I could use the simulator. I don't want to put 2 on the factory because, you know, we've got a lot of parts we need to get built at the moment. And I don't want to keep slowing that down too much. I don't really want to do my head of aero or my technical chief. So I'm going to go with the race sim. It's something I very rarely ever select, but we are actually going to take the race sim out of peak operation for the next 6 weeks. And we are just squeezing over the line there. Let's advance time a couple more days. There we go. We've got a spare chassis. We're going to fit that to Mick. And then Mick's already got it fitted. We're going to fit that to Teo, sorry. And we should be able to fit a replacement front wing. There we go. They're both on the same rear wing. Both on the same side pod. Still need another underfloor. And I can put the replacement suspension on Teo there. Sorry, on Mick. Teo will just have to wait a little bit longer. Right. I think we are where we need to be. Let's take a quick look at our April staff survey. Both of our drivers are positive. Biggest issue for Teo is his salary. He's fairly neutral on that, so it's not a major issue. Mick is unhappy with our other staff. I'm not quite sure why. Our other staff are unhappy with our drivers, and maybe someone farted in an elevator or something, and no one knows whose fault. Our engineers are not happy with our other staff either. Wow. Yeah, I think somebody definitely did cut the cheese in the elevator there. Our affiliates, we're actually seeing all three of our affiliates on this email. They're all positive, as with everyone else. Ritoma's actually fully enthusiastic, which is good. Excuse me, just stifling a yawn there. All right. So we are set and prepped for Jeddah, tomorrow's Grand Prix. Once again, no surprise, the weather will be fine. No hint of rain. And that is where we are going to leave it for tonight. Still a little deflated, because we should be in 5th place in the standings, potentially even in 4th. I'm gutted. Absolutely gutted about Mick not finishing there. Not least because we could have done with that cash as well, but that's kind of by the by at this point. When we come back, excuse me. When we come back tomorrow, we will be hitting round 5, the Jeddah Corniche in Saudi Arabia. We'll go live at the usual time of around 8 p.m. in the evening. If you're not yet subscribed, then why not consider subscribing to the channel? Be sure to hit that bell to be notified when the live stream starts and when other videos drop. And hopefully you have enjoyed this particular stream. If you have, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. Spread the word, tell your friends to check out the series if you're enjoying it as well. And yeah, I'll be back tomorrow with round 5, and hopefully both cars will finish. Until then, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.